Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Mind for Combat. So before I get started into the video this time here, I want to say thank you for checking out my channel. If it's the first time you checked out my channel, any of my content, why don't you consider joining my community and helping me grow my platform so I can get this conversation growing and engage with as many fight fans as possible by hitting the subscribe button, helping me get my platform bigger, and getting involved in the conversation in the comment section below. If you disagree with me, disagree with me. If you don't like the video, then dislike the video. That's fine. I just want to hear from you, every single one of you. Now, guys, for those of you who've been on my channel for a little while and maybe you've been subscribed for a little bit, you'll notice there's been some sporadic activity recently, and that's probably that's been because I've had so much stuff going on in my personal life. As some of you guys already know, I recently got married. I've been traveling. I've been having a lot of time, but I'm back now. I'm fully back. In the words of LL Cool J, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm here, and I'm going to be back to uploading regular content, regular fight-related content. So guys, if it's the first time you checked out my channel, you're interested in fight breakdowns, chatting to someone, getting to know someone, watching the fights with someone, you know, just generally having an intellectual debate about mixed martial arts and boxing, then this is the right place, then please subscribe. Anyway, guys, UFC 237. Now, that is an incredible card that's coming up, and there's a couple of key fights on UFC 237, a couple of key fights that I'm hugely excited for. One of the fights that's the most appealing to me is Jose Aldo versus Alexander Volkanovski. Now, I'll tell you why. Now, there's going to be tons of disagreement on this, obviously. MMA, fighting in particular, is a very subjective sport. So your favorite fighters, who you deem as the greatest of all time, it can a lot of times be your own personal opinion. My personal favorite is Nick Diaz. No one will consider him the greatest of all time, but for my money, the best featherweight of all time is Jose Aldo. And although both Conor has beaten him and Max has beaten him twice, Jose Aldo, for his consistency, longevity, the amount of defenses he had, 2 divisions he dominated. When I say 2 divisions, I mean the WEC featherweight division and the UFC featherweight division, which yes, essentially was the same thing. But you know, he's been a world champion, and he was a world champion for such a long time. He, for me, is the greatest featherweight of all time. Now, Max beating him, I respect Max hell of a lot, and he's on his way to become the greatest of all time. But the best example I can give is, you know, for example, Roy Jones Jr. losing to Antonio Tarver didn't make Antonio Tarver the greatest boxing light heavyweight of all time. Roy Jones Jr. was still it. So that's the best example I can give. And anyway, let's get to this fight. Let's break it down. So it's Jose Aldo versus Alexander Volkanovski, and it's a fight that's really got me salivating at the mouth here. It's a super exciting fight, and a lot of people are picking Volkanovski as the younger, fresher man, and we can go into that. Let's discuss this. As always, I like to break a fight down by the tail of the tape. So let's do that. I was going to give a quick shout out again to my boy Taylor the Tape, who I've done that last time. Just check him out. He'll be in the comment section below. Every time I say Taylor the Tape, he's in my mouth now. See, look, this is what you've done to me, Eric and P-Rod. This is what you guys done to me. I can't say Taylor the Tape without thinking of you guys now. This is you guys' fault. Anyway, let's get to the breakdown. So Jose Aldo, he's 32 years old. He's fighting Alexander Volkanovski, who's 30 years old. So now, although tons and tons of people are saying that Volkanovski is so much younger, he ain't that much younger. He's only 2 years younger. But I suppose in MMA years, he's a hell of a lot younger. He hasn't had the wear and tear that Jose Aldo has. He hasn't been around going through all these wars that Jose Aldo has been. So there's a difference there, isn't there? In records, Jose Aldo is 28 wins and 4 losses versus Alexander Volkanovski, who's 19 and 1. Now, there doesn't seem like a huge discrepancy in experience, but there really and truly is, because when we're looking at Jose Aldo's experience, we're talking about world championship experience. We're talking UFC featherweight world title defenses. We're talking WEC world title featherweight defenses. He's been fighting under the bright lights. And this fight's being fought in his home country. He's been there. This is familiar territory for Jose Aldo. That huge crowd, all that excitement, all the people buzzing around him, everyone buzzing for Jose Aldo. It's just such a great discrepancy in experience between Jose Aldo and Alexander Volkanovski. And I think that's really key, and that bears witnessing. Jose Aldo's 5'7", Volkanovski is 5'6", so there's not much of a difference there. Jose Aldo's got a 70-inch reach, and Volkanovski's got a 1.5 inch reach advantage over him at 71.5 inch. I don't think that's going to make a big difference, because I see Jose Aldo as the better, more refined, sharper striker. So I think that's key, and that's really worth noting here. That takes us onto the style nicely, and I think when we're talking about Jose Aldo's style, he's obviously got the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu chops, and he's got that brilliant defensive wrestling, but This is Muay Thai that stands out for me. So I'll always describe him as a Muay Thai striker, and he's incredible. He is really, really incredible on the feet. Super explosive, super dynamic, really well rounded on the feet. Got good boxing. He's talked about wanting to box professionally, and maybe he will do when he's done with MMA. But there's really tons of good stuff that you can say about Jose Aldo, and he's fighting Alexander Volkanovski, who's shown he can wrestle, he can box. He obviously knocked out Chad Mendes. He's shown he can do it all. He has no one area where he's got a decisive advantage over Jose Aldo. Now, that takes me into their key wins. Now, for Volkanovski, it'll take me all of 3 seconds to say it. He's beaten Darren Elkins and he's beaten Chad Mendes. Those are his key wins for me. Those are the wins that really, really stand out for me. For Jose Aldo, I could do a video alone talk about Jose Aldo's resume because his resume is spectacular. We're talking wins over Cub Swanson in WEC. He's beaten Kenny Florian. That's someone that's worthy of note. You know, he was around for a long time. He's beaten Chad Money Mendes twice, not once, but twice in his prime. He's taken out Frankie Edgar not once, but twice, one of the greatest of all time. He's taken out the Korean Zombie, Ricardo Lamas. He's taken out Jeremy Little, Heathen Stevens, and recently Renato Moicano. He's incredible. He's got such a great win. But then that takes us into the issues, and this fight is not as black and white as it seems, because it sounds like Jose Aldo should steamroll him, right? No. Jose Aldo has had a lot of wear and tear. He's been knocked out, 3 times now in recent years. Conor McGregor, twice by Max Holloway. He's taken some beatings, fights he's won. He had wars with Chad Mendes. You know what I mean? He's been around. He's been through wars. Even thinking back to his fight with Mark Hominick, he's been through some tough fights. So it's not so easy as all of that might have you seem. So wear and tear is an issue for Jose Aldo coming into this, and for Alexander Volkanovski, the biggest issue I have for him is we've talked about him having disadvantages on the feet. So let's say for issues, let's stick with the fact that he's unproven. Some may argue that he is proven. Yes, he's beaten Chad Mendes, but that doesn't, to me, solidify you as being able to beat Jose Aldo. He's unproven. X factor, Jose Aldo's dynamic, explosive striking and experience. And for Alexander Volkanovski, his X factor will be how fresh he is. He's young, he's still hungry, he wants it more than Jose Aldo. That takes us nicely into the fight. How do I see this fight playing out? I see that this fight's going to be settled on the feet. Jose Aldo's always been an incredible defensive wrestler. No one's ever really been able to take him down. And even guys that have, he springs right back up. And this is a 3-round fight. I don't see him gassing. I don't think that's going to be a problem. That could have been an issue. I would have brought up that if this was a 5-round fight, but not in a 3-round fight. Jose Aldo got this 3-round fight. He'll be fine. He ain't going to get taken down. It's going to be handled on the feet. And on the feet, Volkanovski's shown that he can be hittable by the explosive strikers. Like Chad Mendes hit him. The difference is Jose Aldo still, I think, packs a lot more explosiveness than Chad Mendes. He might not hit harder. He might not have more one-punch knockout power. But Jose Aldo is incredible. And what he has is a really versatile skill set. He's got a big advantage over Alexander Volkanovski on the feet. And I see Jose Aldo dominating this fight for 2 rounds and then getting the finish in round 3. I don't think Volkanovski is going to be familiar with dealing with this kind of pressure sustained over a long period of time. And I think ultimately the experience that he ain't had is going to impact him. It's going to take Jose Aldo to the victory. I think Volkanovski is going to learn from this. He'll come back better from this, no doubt, 100%. But this is Jose Aldo's fight to win. Anyways, guys, that's my prediction. Why don't you comment below? Let me know what all of you think. Let me think how you guys think the fight's going to go. And if you haven't already, then please subscribe. Thank you, guys. Mind for Combat.